Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to take a tour of one of the most incredible networks you could ever imagine, and it's running inside you right now. We're talking about your body's own superhighway, the circulatory system.
Have you ever really stopped to think about that? You take one breath in, and in just a few seconds, that oxygen gets delivered all the way down to the tip of your pinky toe. How on earth does that happen so fast?
Well, the secret is this amazing non-stop delivery service. It's an internal superhighway that's working 24/7 to keep you going. So, buckle up. We're about to go on a grand tour of this whole system.
So here's our roadmap for the trip. First, we'll talk about what this delivery service actually does. Then we'll meet the mighty pump that runs the whole show. After that, we'll follow blood on its grand tour and then take a closer look at the river of life itself. And we'll wrap it all up with a quick quiz to see what you remember. Sound good? Let's get started.
All right, so first up, what is the system's main job? Well, in one word, transport. Think of it like a massive city's network of roads and careers. It's all about delivering the good stuff, like food and oxygen, and hauling away the trash.
And look at this list. This system is a serious multitasker. It's not just dropping off oxygen and nutrients, it's also the garbage collection service for carbon dioxide and urea, it's the postal service delivering hormones, it's the heating system distributing warmth, and it even carries your personal security force, your white blood cells, to fight off any invaders. It's incredible.
Okay, so at the center of this whole highway network, you have the engine, the one tireless pump that never ever gets a day off, your heart. It's this amazing muscle, about the size of your fist, and it just keeps on pumping, day and night.
Now, the heart is cleverly designed with 4 separate rooms, or chambers. And here's the most important thing to remember. The right side deals with deoxygenated blood. That's the blood that's already made its deliveries and is coming back to refuel. The left side, that's for the fresh, oxygen-rich blood that just got back from the lungs. This separation is what makes the whole system so efficient.
I absolutely love this analogy. It just makes so much sense. The heart is constantly filled with blood, right? But that doesn't mean it's using that blood to feed itself. The heart is a hardworking muscle. It needs its own paycheck, its own dedicated fuel supply. And it gets that from its very own set of arteries, the coronary arteries, on the outside. Okay, we've met the pump. Now let's shrink down and follow a single drop of blood on its incredible journey through the body. It's a wild ride with 2 main loops, but it always starts and ends right back at the heart.
Now, this setup is called double circulation. And why is that? Well, it's because for every one full trip around your body, a blood cell has to pass through the heart twice. First, the right side of the heart sends it on a quick trip to the lungs. That's the pulmonary circuit, to drop off carbon dioxide and pick up fresh oxygen. Then, that newly oxygenated blood comes back to the left side of the heart, which gives it a powerful push for its long journey to the rest of the body. That's the systemic circuit. So how does blood get around? Through a network of vessels. Let's have a little showdown between the 2 main types, arteries and veins. Arteries carry blood away from the heart. They're like the big highways. They need thick, strong, muscular walls to handle the high-pressure spurts of blood coming straight from the pump. Veins, on the other hand, carry blood towards the heart. The pressure is way lower, so their walls are thinner. And here's the cool part. They have these little one-way gates called valves to make sure the blood doesn't flow backward. Super important, especially in your legs.
Okay, so if arteries and veins are the highways, what about the little neighborhood streets where the actual deliveries and pickups happen? That's where capillaries come in. These things are unbelievably tiny, so narrow that red blood cells have to squeeze through in single file, and their walls are just one single cell thick. That ultra-thin design is perfect for letting oxygen and nutrients slip out to the cells, and for waste to pass back into the blood.
We've covered the pump and the pipes, so now it's time to look at the liquid that's actually flowing through them. And let me tell you, blood is so much more than just a red fluid. It's actually a complex, living tissue.
Believe it or not, if you were to separate your blood into its parts, you'd find that over half of it, about 55%, is a yellowish liquid called plasma. It's mostly water, but it's also carrying all sorts of important things like proteins and digested food. The other 45%, well, that's made up of the different cells floating around inside it.
So let's meet the star players in that 45%. First up, you have the red blood cells. These are the oxygen delivery trucks. They are jam-packed with a special protein called hemoglobin that grabs onto oxygen. In fact, they're so dedicated to this job that when they mature, they actually ditch their own nucleus just to make more room. Then you've got the white blood cells.
These guys are the bodyguards, the immune system's security force. There are a lot fewer of them, but they are absolutely essential for hunting down and destroying germs.
120 days. Get this. That's the average lifespan of a single red blood cell. Just 4 months. Your body is constantly making new ones in your bone marrow to replace the old, worn-out ones. It's this incredible, non-stop factory of renewal happening inside you all the time.
So what happens when you get a cut and start bleeding? An amazing emergency response kicks into gear. These tiny little cell fragments called platelets rush to the scene. As you see here, they start this incredible chain reaction, a cascade that turns a liquid protein in your blood into these sticky, stringy threads. These threads form a mesh, like a net, that traps blood cells and plugs the hole. It's an absolutely brilliant self-repair system.
Of course, not all blood is the same. Your blood type is all about these little identification tags, called antigens, on the surface of your red blood cells. If you're group O, your cells have no tags, which is why your blood can be given to almost anyone. You're a universal donor. And if you're group AB, you have both A and B tags, so your body recognizes both as friendly. That makes you a universal recipient. All right, you made it through the whole tour. That was a lot of info, but now you have a pretty good idea of how this amazing delivery service works. So, how about a quick quiz to lock in some of that knowledge? Ready?
First question for you. Remember the used blood that's coming back from the body? Which side of the heart takes care of that? That's right, it's the right side.
Okay, next up. What's that special protein that makes blood red and is responsible for grabbing onto all the oxygen molecules? Yep, that's hemoglobin.
Question number 3. Which of the major blood vessels needs those special little one-way gates to keep blood flowing in the right direction, especially against gravity? You got it. It's the veins.
And for the final question, when you get a cut, what are those tiny cell fragments that rush to the scene and start the whole clotting process? The answer is platelets.
And that's it. Excellent work. You've just explored a system more complex and more efficient than any highway we've ever built. And it's happening inside you every single second. It really is a constant reminder of how incredible the human body is. Hey, if you found this explainer helpful, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to press the bell icon.